If you have been to a Brazilian churrascaria or steakhouse, you are probably familiar with picanha and how tasty it is. If you haven't, you don't know what you're missing, but fear no more, because after today, you'll be able to cook it like a pro, because that's what we're cooking, and you are gonna love it. Let's cook. As you know, steak is one of my favorite things, and every country has a particular way of processing a cow. Now, picanha is a Brazilian cut. If we look at the US primal cuts, there are 13. The very back of the animal is called the round. Picanha comes from the very top. Now, if we look at the Brazilian cuts, they have 19. So they're more particular about some of those smaller cuts. So picanha will be number 8 there on top. And I think we have a graphic, but if not, it's right at the top of the round of the animal. That gives this piece of meat a very particular combination of attributes. It has some work, and that gives it flavor, but it doesn't work as hard as some of the other muscles, so it's still tender. The cut sits on top of a fat cap, and in the US, most butchers cut that out. They actually cut this piece of meat in a very different way. Picanha is just a part of your big sirloin steak. So if you were to find it in the US, it would be called rump cover, rump cap, culotte, or just sirloin cap. The taste of picanha is that of sirloin. It is very tasty, it is juicy, it is beefy. Now, it has very little intramuscular fat, so it has to be cooked medium to medium rare. So this is what the picanha looks like. It's a triangular cut. Now, you see how thin it is, right? It's sitting on this fat cap there, right? And it's one of the things that makes it super tasty. Now, today we have a surprise for you because we have a dear friend, Rob McKeever, whose family actually, they raise cows. They have a farm and they do a special treatment to these cows. They're all, he's gonna explain that to you. So I'm just gonna call Rob. We're gonna talk about the cut of meat and how it is processed. Rob, come on. Is there anything you want us to know about this particular cut?
Well, you're usually going to have to ask your butcher for it, and many butchers won't make it for you. They're usually putting this cut of meat into the sirloin or into some other more traditional Western cut. So you're going to have to ask for it special. With what we do, we're selling shares of a live animal to people. So, when you get a side of beef, which is half a cow, you can custom. They give you a cut sheet when you get it to the processor, and they'll give you exactly what you want. So I was able to get some picanha for this episode right here.
That's nice. Now, I'm gonna show you the picanha that Rob brought, and you can see a difference in color, right?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of reasons to that. Can you explain? Typically the normal cow versus your product.
So the traditional beef is made in kind of an industrial fashion, right? They've got feedlots. They're trying to get the cow to weight as fast as possible. So they're feeding it whatever they can. Usually, a lot of people say, you are what you eat. Well, really what matters is, you are what you eat eats. So, we may be raising cows, but really we're grass farmers. So one thing we do is we make sure the cows are fed nothing but a diet of grass. And, with the organic movement, there's some regulations with that, but grass-fed, it's currently the Wild West. They can really say whatever they want.
So something that says grass-fed may be a combination of things, right?
Yeah, and we've done that with some of our cows as well, and I think you can, especially if you make sure what kind of feed they're having when they call it finished, grain finished, right? If you control what they're having and it's not a bunch of Roundup ready soybeans and stuff, it can make for a very high quality beef. But with us, this is grass the entire time. We're harvesting the animal in the fall. So now, when you think about that, it's going to be eating green grass right before it gets slaughtered, as opposed to if you were to slaughter it in the spring, it's probably, if it's going to be grass-fed its whole life, it's going to be eating hay all winter, which can affect the taste and it'll be a different taste.
We wanted to give you all this background so you start understanding why you may be willing to pay a little bit more here or there. And by the way, if they wanted to, they could contact you guys, right, and get some beef.
The farm is out of Tennessee. We have a limited number of belted Galloways that we personally raise, as well as a couple of other farmers that we work with and help broker some of their beef. But if you follow at Armsdale Farm on Instagram, and I think if you use facebook.com/Armsdale Farm or at Armsdale Farm on Facebook, you can find us there. And we'll post out anything when we've got a couple of cows that are getting ready to be available for purchase.
And so you can get a whole quarter of a cow.
Yeah, that's actually the smallest increment that we go is a quarter of a cow. But a lot of times, if you want the custom cuts, you need to get a side of a cow. And contrary to popular belief, the entire animal is not just made up of ribeyes.
Right. Exactly.
So, but yeah, you get a quarter or a side. What I find a lot of times, I like to get the custom cuts, like the picanha as well. So I like to get a side, and I find a buddy that wants to split it with me, and then we split the stuff that splits up pretty evenly, and then we have like a fantasy football draft for all the remainder. Go around and pick who gets what.
That's cool. But I mean, that's taking that to the next level. And I know the average person watching this is not going to do that. But if you are interested, man, you can take this in so many directions and feed your family something that where it comes from. Actually, your sourcing is identified to the farm where it comes from, and you can design your cuts and all of that. But just based on obviously what most butchers will work with, right? Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do with this is that we're gonna grill. On charcoal, not briquettes. You want to use
lump
hardwood. Okay. We make chimichurri for to eat this awesome picanha. We're gonna grill some of these green onions. Look at this. Look at the size of these green onions. The bottom part. It's almost like a whole onion in there, right? And we went to the Latin market to get the picanha because it's hard to find in American markets. And we saw this, and I'm thinking, my Mexican friends, they grill this. They put this right on the grill. So we're gonna use that. And since we are in Brazil, right? We are gonna. It looks like this is Brazil. We are gonna use yuca, right? Which is cassava. This is a root vegetable. We have to say it's like a potato, but it's not like a potato, right?
I'm excited to try it.
Right? It's different. It's very fibrous, but the taste it's kind of neutral, kind of like the potato. But I think that the mix with that, this is actually this is all processed. It's been peeled because you can buy it that you have to peel it yourself, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's very tough. When you buy it like this is from Chiquita. There are different brands, frozen. And it's great. So I'm gonna boil these things for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, okay, with just a little bit of salt, and that's it. And we're gonna use that with the chimichurri and this grilled green onions. Man, I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I can't wait. Let's go.
All right.
As always, first we're gonna get organized. The French call this mise en place. And all mise en place is having all the ingredients and the tools that you need right in front of you. Cooking is always about ingredients, time, and temperature, so make sure you get the best beef possible. And for the temperature, we're gonna use a thermometer. We're gonna cook this beef to 130 degrees internal temperature. It's gonna be perfect. Remember, mise en place is less stress. Let's prep. And now it's time for shout outs. These are the people that are cooking our food, taking pictures and letting us know about it. Try it, let me see it. Little sis Kitty in Spain made the fried rice, just like takeout. Manu Acosta is at it again. He made the shrimp and grits. It looked so beautiful. This guy's got talent. And something strange has happened to our Chopino video. It actually exploded on YouTube. It's got like 6,000 views or something like that, more than any other of our videos. So we've had a lot of people cook the Chopino, but they haven't sent me pictures, but I've seen the comments on YouTube and have replied to them. I can think of two right now. 21K Valley Girl, actually her husband made it. Met all the way from Hawaii. How exciting is that? Aloha people, that was great. And also Donna Green Salter made it, and she said that the whole family loved it. It was like the best one they ever had. I know, girl. It was the same for us. Unbelievable. And a lot of you are doing it. Let me know and send us picture and send me your name. Sometimes, like, you know, in YouTube you cannot see the name, just a nickname. Man, we want to recognize you too, and we get so excited when we see you doing that. Thank you. Okay, so we're out here, the meat ready to salt. We're gonna use a lot of salt because this thing is thick, and I'm gonna turn this one here. We're gonna cook this one on the flat side first. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you can see here a couple of bone-in ribeyes that Rob said, yeah, why not? I have them here. Why not use them? Okay, so the bone-in ribeyes here are dry aged as well. We don't have a lot of charcoal, but this thing gets super hot, so we figured that it should be okay, and we'll find out. And why not put their cousins here? And we'll wait for these babies more towards the end because they're too small. All right, okay. I'm just gonna plug that in. You see there's some flame coming up already?
Coming off that fat cap.
Yeah, so we're gonna plug that in there. It's gonna give a little bit of a smoky flavor and also control the temperature a little bit. Okay, so you saw the triangle. There's some thick parts and some smaller parts. This belongs to the smaller side. Now, on the Brazilian steakhouse, what they do is they cut the steak long like that, and then they fold it like this, right? And then they put the spear right through there, and that's how the churrascaria cooks them for 15-20 minutes. And it's not high direct heat like this one. It's more of an indirect kind of heat, usually from the top, so it doesn't create a lot of smoke. This says 400 degrees. The way you control the temperature is by opening the top vent and the lower air vent. All right, let's see. I want it to get hot again without the big flame. Finally, my favorite moment, taste test. I cannot wait. Rob, come here. I think this is the first time we're gonna get a guest
double taste test.
Double taste test here. So here, I'm gonna cut it this way, cut it. I'm gonna put a little bit of finishing salt because we didn't salt it too much. And let's try it without chimichurri first and then chimichurri, okay?
All right.
Okay, go ahead, knock yourself out. You take this one, the big one.
You know me.
Yeah.
That fat cap, really good.
The fat cap makes it, takes it to a next level. You can, it's beefy.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Very strong.
Very strong flavor. The dry age makes such a difference. Obviously, it's grass-fed, and one of the characteristics about grass-fed meat is a little bit chewier, right? Because when you feed cows the grain,
oh yeah, it's just almost like a sedentary lifestyle, right?
Exactly, right? So you know how you get fluffy and chubby if you just watch Netflix all day. That's kind of what's
that's happening. A feedlot. A feedlot is Netflix and chill.
Exactly, right? Rob, remember you said about this is like whiskey or bourbon or
good things take time.
Exactly. So guess what we found? We have Robert Mondavi has this private selection, has this bourbon barrel aged Cabernet Sauvignon that I thought would be great for this, right? Because it's kind of a play on the words of the famous philosopher Rob McKeever. So why don't we just try a little bit more, and then we're gonna halfway through kind of wash it down with this wine. Before we try it, let's do a yummy dance. You river dance.
First yummy dance. Here we go.
There you go. River dance, Scottish, Irish.
Click the heels.
And I'll do the cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Oh yeah, like peanut butter and jelly.
Like peanut butter and jelly. I think it's fantastic. Let's try chimichurri and the yuca, right?
Okay.
Guys, by the way,
with the yuca?
Yeah, with a little bit of let's do the meat and then a little bit of the yuca with the chimichurri as well, right? You're gonna see, guys, the yuca this is cut in half, right? And sometimes in the middle, it's got this string of whatever that is. You know what you do with it? Throw it away. You don't eat that because it's just stringy.
Did you de-string mine already?
Yeah. Yours is this string, right? So let's try the meat with the chimichurri and that with a little bit of the chimichurri as well. And then, you know what? As we do this, let's call Joanna in here. Joanna, just come and try this. Okay, I'm gonna get a piece for Joanna right here. Try with the chimichurri. Here. All right, let's do it with chimichurri. Joanna, come.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so here, Joanna, try this one. Try that one.
Ooh. Yes. This one.
Wow.
Yummy there.
I'm telling you, this is
It's so good.
This is really good.
I like your cows.
Now you know what beef it tastes like, right? Oh,
That's that ribeye.
no, it's the same thing. But I just had the perfect combination of.
Oh yeah, together?
You saw how they got excited about mine, right? They want mine. No. And I put a lot of chimichurri on it.
Oh yeah.
Here, Rob, did you try yuca?
So, Rob, you never had yuca before in your life, right?
No.
Because obviously you're American. This is not something that you find here unless you know somebody like us, right?
Yeah.
So, what's your impression of the yuca?
Well, it's almost, I mean, the potato is the easy way out, right? But it's got more of the way I would say is a bite to it. There's some
More fibers.
there's a structure to the thing that just, potato doesn't have. And when you get it, it still kind of falls apart like a potato, but the way it bites is very different.
More dense.
Yeah. And then the taste, like you said, has a small sweetness. It's almost like a
hint of
like a pudding or something, like a very, very delicate sweetness to
Right.
it. But at the same time, you cover it in any sauce, I'd imagine it would take on those flavors. Just
Right.
like
Even olive oil, even
Yeah.
plain olive oil, it
olive
just takes
oil.
it to another level right away.
In Peru, in a lot of South American places, they fry the yuca. In Peru in particular, they fry it and they add this guancaína sauce. We're gonna do that one day on the show.
Amazing.
But it's just like you say, it's like potatoes. You do French fries, and some people like ketchup, some people like mayo, all of that. It just adds a lot. It's
so there's all
different.
sorts of different preparations beyond just
Exactly.
Boiling it.
boiling it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But this is just pretty straightforward, boiled, and just add whatever little condiment you want on it. It's a great complement to the meat, isn't it?
Meat and potatoes, picanha and yuca.
That's it. That's it.
You got the chimichurri and it just works.
Oh,
That's
works
it.
really well.
All right, so try it.
So good, this chimichurri. Man,
Chimichurri was
yummy
on
dance with
point.
chimichurri.
On point.
Isn't it
Let me
nice?
tell you, man, the ribeye
big piece.
it's like saying Lord Ribeye or Sir Ribeye. And I tell you something, the lowly picanha, a run for the money,
Finish
right?
your salt for that.
I actually learned about picanha through Gus.
Oh, yeah?
And then I think a few,
one day we're
few months
here, right?
later, yeah, a few months later I went home. My dad had discovered it, and then immediately, I made sure every cow I ordered from that point on had picanha.
Happy
Really?
picanha cut, yeah, exactly. I mean, because the muscles there is just the U.S. butchers don't recognize
So what do
it
they
as such,
do?
and they cut it.
They throw it away?
It usually gets part of it. It's included in the sirloin steak
Oh,
many
okay.
times, but the fat cap's removed. So it's like you lose a lot of the special.
I'm so glad that this taste test is endless.
Endless. So guys, cheers again. Well, is that yours? Is that Rob's?
Rob's.
That's Rob's.
I
Cheers.
took my chest.
Yeah, you're good to go.
And that's Lola.
Even Lola is just going, oh my God, this wine is so good.
Yeah.
Guys, listen, go out of the norm. I'm telling you, we do this so you can start thinking outside of your comfort zone. Go out of the norm. I mean, yes, New York steak is great. Yes, ribeye is great. But there's so many cuts outside of that are awesome only if you learn how to cook them. So this is a perfect example of a fantastic piece of meat that at the most, you're gonna pay $5 or $6 a pound for.
Very affordable.
When you find something that, that's even great quality, you can even find prime picanha. I found it at Patton's times here in Atlanta. So you get out of what you normally do, and I promise you will not be disappointed, okay? So now, 4 things. Subscribe, hit like, share with your friends, and
Cook it,
right?
Absolutely.
They need to cook it. I mean, you guys need to try something like this. Is it cold outside? Yeah, but why not? Just, fire up the grill, do something. You're not gonna do it every day, but find a nice day. Today was such a beautiful day here in Atlanta that we said, this is the time to do it. And this is our last show of 2020. As you can see it on my shirt,
Cheers
right?
to that.
Cheers to that. Thank God 2020 is over, or about to be over, right?
Yes.
And
Thankful we made it, right?
we made it. We made it through, right? And this guy's negative, so we welcome 2020. 2021 is gonna be freaking fantastic.
That's right.
2021 is gonna be probably the best year ever, right? There's the storm and then there's the calm. I promise you, and you need to start thinking that way right now. Get yourself in a positive state of mind and looking forward, looking ahead to how awesome 2021 is gonna be. And I'm sure it's gonna be that way for you and for your family and your loved ones. So come back, our first show of 2021. It's gonna be lentil soup, but not just any lentil soup. It's gonna be Joanna's lentil soup, which is actually famous around our circles, right? People flock to our home to taste Joanna's lentil soup. So we're gonna make that happen. And we thought the first week of the year, great in Venezuela, there's this tradition to eat lentil soup to kind of bring on
Good luck.
good luck for the year, right?
That's right.
We obviously don't believe that happens, but it's delicious, right? So why not do it? Okay, so come back and see us.
Cheers.
Cheers.